We are live. We are ready to go. And hope for things go better during this class than they went during the last class. We got chopped off right in the middle, had to reboot the whole deal. So we'll see how today goes. Today we are playing Kumbaya as our warm up, and then we'll play some diatonic scales. Then we will play Morning Has Broken, which I adore that tune. And then we will play some chromatic scales, and then we will play Wonderful World. So we have a nice group of songs today to play. Won't take too long to get through everything. And and we have our new member how to play harmonica lesson. It's Monday. We always do a new member how to play harmonica lesson. And so we'll run through that. And I have a new book to share with everybody. And so we have that. And yeah, so we got a good day ahead. And hopefully everything is working now. Let me make sure that the post is looking good. Let's get, we got to type in our this Bluetooth keyboard. HTT, come on, you can do it. HTTPS:// mammoth. Oh, the website is mammothgardens.com. I don't know if I said that. Mammothgardens.com. And then I pop up, and then I add on our harmonica, one of our harmonica funnies. Harmonica, let's put the hummingbird up there. Don't know. Class 97. Today, Thursday's class number 100, you guys. Very exciting. All right, so we've tweeted the harmonica class. I can close this one. I can double check that the link is working properly. And it is. And so now we're ready to sit down and play harmonica. We're running a minute or two behind, so I'll get started right away. Vic is in. I'm not frozen out. I just stopped, right? Last class, I just stopped in the middle, and I didn't know it. I finished the lesson, did a great job of did the best job of teaching Streets of Laredo that's ever been done, unbeknownst to anybody who might have wanted to listen. And then here we are. Good morning, Val. Valerie, good morning. Sounds good. She says I sound okay. Evelyn, you're not spinning now. I went back and checked the recording, and it goes, okay, now we're going to start Streets of Laredo. Click, and that was the end of it. Yep. So what are you going to do? Sandy, good morning. 8 degrees above zero, so it's a practical heat wave up there in Michigan. Yeah, -11 with the wind chill. Yeah, but it's bright and blue and sunny up there. We had a cold day here. It's clear. Well, we had some fires over the weekend, so it's sort of, I don't know. Looks like there's probably breathing smoke is what I'm breathing. Good morning, Diane, Valley. Sorry for frozen here inside and outside. So Valerie is saying, yeah, it's definitely cold up there. Back inside. Pauline says, Pauline was there in the class as well, just stopped working. I don't know what happened. Don, good morning, Don. Melissa's in. Our Northern Colorado reps are here. And Fran, our Southern California rep. I know, right? Let's see. Thursday is Thursday is my last day. We're going to take a 4-day weekend, guys, and I already put on there on the website. No class on Friday, so Thursday is our 100th lesson. Let's have some kind of a party. Our party will include playing the songs "When the Saints Go Marching In," "You Are My Sunshine," "Morning Is Broken," on top of spaghetti, "Puff the Magic Dragon," "Wonderful World," "It's Only a Paper Moon," and "Last Rose of Summer." So yeah, that's a party right there. So on Friday we'll celebrate with 100 episodes of harmonica class. Don't run off after we do diatonic, because bum, 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 look what showed up. We got to talk about. I just had a chance to. It showed up just this morning, so I will flip. I flipped through it very briefly here, and so I'll have some thoughts on where we're headed with chromatic harmonica. Let's get started. We're playing our Monday morning favorite. Oh no, we got to do the how to play harmonica. So, 2 types of harmonica: diatonic. Okay, yours needs to be in the key of C for class. You may want to order a key of G for when you're playing on your own. They look identical. The difference is key of G plays at a lower pitch, and so it's a little more pleasant on your ears. Key of C is the standard one, which is the easiest to teach music theory from. So we use key of C in class, but when you're on your own, you may want to play a G harmonica, which has a little bit lower pitch, a little bit easier to play. And so as you're buying harmonicas, you buy a C one first, or you probably have one sitting in the back of a drawer somewhere. And we learned to play on that, but you probably tend to play on the G one because it's just lower in pitch. The other type of harmonica comes with a button. That's called a chromatic harmonica, a little bit more expensive. We found two that are very good. We like the Swan 1040. Almost everybody here owns one of those at this point. And then I've been playing this East Top Forerunner, which I just thought I'd give it a try to see how it's going. So far, it's been great. And then my good ones are a Super Chromatica, and then I also have a Suzuki 16-hole one, which both of those are the same price. Of the two, the Super Chromatica, I think, is a better harmonica. It's got a little bit more bite to it, a little bit more interesting sound to it. But that isn't to say there isn't a reason to play the Suzuki either. So once you get over about 150, 160 bucks, all of the harmonicas are good. This one was, I think it was 55, something like that. The Amazon price on the other one, the 1040, I think runs around 40, 45 bucks. And so those are your two types of harmonicas. To get started playing harmonica, number one, brush your teeth. Otherwise, the stuff that's in your teeth ends up in your harmonica. And then you drink plenty of water when you're playing, and make sure you're rinsing out your mouth so that the goo that builds up in your face isn't ending up in your harmonica. Drink lots of water. And then, of course, wash your hands, because they are going to end up, at least in the beginning, you're going to be lining up your hole. You're going to, okay, hole number 4, right? And then your fingers are in your mouth. So make sure you wash your hands. Sit up tall and pretty. You're going to breathe from your belly, not your lungs, not your neck. Your belly goes out, the air comes in, belly goes in, air goes out. You're using this as a bellows to push air up and down inside your lungs. That's the health benefit that you're going to get from playing harmonica. It's right there. It's a good posture. It's good for your back, and proper breathing with your belly. Your whole system fills up with air. It's really, it's good for you. To get what we need to do to get started in harmonica is pucker up and blow through one hole and not multiple holes. Multiple holes sounds like this, which is lovely. Single hole sounds like this. What I'm doing is puckering up and then using my kissing muscles to help direct the airflow into one particular hole, using the same technique to draw air from it. I think when you start, the hardest part is getting a single hole isolated and having air go through just one hole at a time. That usually goes away after 2 or 3 weeks, where you're finally able to get a clean tone out of a hole. And I guess there are people who struggle with it more than others, but you really are using your inner mouth muscles, your tongue placement, and all of this stuff inside of your face. Doesn't seem to be a very clear instructional program. I'm thinking maybe this book might have some of it in there in terms of how to tell you to think about your tongue and where it should be. But I think the easiest thing is just practice a little bit to try to get that hole clean and pretty. And then once you get really good at playing melody, then on this core instrument, then we would start talking, and then you would go to some of the other harmonica teachers to talk about blues playing, which is when you use multiple holes. And he would do that. I don't teach that because that's just not a style I understand or am interested in. I want to get a song out of this. And that requires playing one note at a time. Between every note, you're going to say that your tongue's going to touch the roof of your mouth, both blowing and drawing. So make sure you're saying 2 between every note. If you're blowing real hard, you're going to break your harmonica. So don't do that. You do not need to blow hard on a harmonica. Your belly out, belly in. That's about how hard you need to blow. That's it. Cup the harmonica with both hands. Your knuckle goes above hole number 4, and the other 2. That gives you that vibrato effect. And then remember to be playing your harmonica back and forth with your hands. Don't be moving your face back and forth. On the sheet music that you will see, and let's go ahead and pull up today's first piece of sheet music, and that is Kumbaya. You will see Kumbaya has all the real sheet music. There's everything that's real in music is on your paper. And some people are turned off by that. And if you are probably not listening to this anyway. The rest of you who have some music background, you're like, oh, thank God, the guy really knows about real sheet music. Kumbaya when you go around the internet, they will just have on the as how to play Kumbaya on harmonica, and it will say 45666 -6 -6 45666 -5 -5 and that's it. But that's not particularly helpful if you don't know how Kumbaya goes, and it's also not helpful if you want to play with other people. And it's very normal to play harmonica with guitarists and piano players and ukulele players and other players who know how to do music, and you end up being the lead singer because you replace singing with harmonica. Tons of fun. That's why I give you the whole thing. It's meant to be played with other people, an ensemble experience. On this piece of paper, you're mainly looking at the ukulele tablature. It says harmonica in C, and then it says 45666 -6 -6. When it says a 4, or when there's no minus sign, you're going to blow, and when there's a minus sign, you're going to draw. And that's how you play harmonica music. All the rest of this stuff is stuff designed to make you a musician. The standard notation there is to tell you how long to hold the notes, the tablature underneath there for ukulele and guitars, so that you can play with other players. Most guitar players don't know how to read tablature either, so they will be using the chord charts up above. And every piano player knows how to read the standard notation, and most of them know their chord names, and so they can actually use what's here to play piano quite effectively with you. And so you would end up having a lovely time making ensemble music, and that's what we want. Like, that's what I care about, is that you have a way to take this and play with other people if you want to. And if you don't want to, you just play the tablature and you have a lovely time. Let's see, where did I leave off welcoming people in? Marcia made it in today. Christine, cannot believe we have had 100 lessons already. Snowing heavy in Bozeman, 7 degrees. Looks and feels like winter. And Bozeman is normal. And Kat made it in. All right. Hi, Kat. Yeah, we're up to 100 lessons already. They're all basically the same as lesson number 1. So you don't need to go watch all of the lessons, obviously. If you've been here for 100 lessons, isn't it crazy how far we've gone? All right, let's play Kumbaya. We're going to blow 4, and then when you see the minus signs, you draw all through that hole. From the top, 1, 2. That one's kind of a nice tune just to play kind of slow and thoughtful and pensive. And I notice I tend to slur, and measures 11 and 12. I tend not to do my twos through there. Oh, kumbaya. I'm tending to slur those. I'm making a note on mine, and if I ever decide to repost the tune, I would do that. I'm also going to put a fermato over the first note in measure 15, because I tend to make that longer than is written. So, yeah, so a nice way to begin our week every Monday. And then let's go on and play our scales. Those are on your diatonic notes in C paper, and I would tend to, if I was arranging your notebook, I would tend to put the chromatic stuff in one section, the diatonic stuff in a second section. I'd have all that stuff alphabetically, and then I for sure would have my sort of music theory stuff, the stuff that's like this page, up in the front, because this is really meant as a warm-up type activity and something that you need to know. You'll use it as reference, but it's not really a song you're ever going to play. So kind of keep your theory stuff in one section, your diatonic songs in a different section, and your chromatic stuff in a third section. I think that's the easiest way to arrange your binders. Let's go play the C major scale from the bottom to the top, and then it's from the bottom from one end to the other twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the A minor scale, starting on a -6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally got them all right for a change. Those ones that go way up on the high on the harmonica can be a bit of a hornet's nest of challenges, can't they? All right, let's go grab Morning is Broken. Morning has broken. No, I don't have it here. I got to go in my other folder to get it. One of these days I'll have all of my folders up and running correctly. Storage, download, harmonica. Just before anybody sneaks in or out too quickly, remember we are not meeting on Friday this week, so we will have the concert on Thursday, which is our 100th opportunity to get together. And lots of you guys have been here for all 100, which is exciting. And so hopefully, well, obviously we're all playing a whole lot better than we did on lesson 1, theoretically. But now we're sort of in a groove, right? We got songs coming out. I think we're up to 60 some songs in the player. I'm gonna go peek because I'm excited how many tunes we have and how many we have coming. We are at 68, so almost 70 songs in 100 lessons. That's a pretty nice production. And I think for me, the big thing is we're always trying to get where things are happening with a little better tonality, a little bit more smoothness, a little bit more musicality behind it. And then hopefully, as we're going along, you're learning a little bit about music and how things fit together so they can make some sense for you. Let's play Morning is Broken. Play it 2 times through and blow 4. It's in 3/8 times, so there's just 3 beats in every measure, but an 8th note counts as 1. So anytime you see a song in an 8th with an 8 on the bottom, the 8th notes count as 1 instead of usually like we do with a quarter note. Okay, blow 4 2 times through. 1, 2, 3. along. Isn't that a pretty tune? Not too hard to play. You would think when you see, oh, I got eighth notes count as one, you're going to zip right along. But notice that on the sheet music, quarter note equals 60. That's very slow, very slow. So there's no, since you could probably play this, morning is broken like the first morning. You could probably pull it out that way, but it doesn't feel like that kind of a song. It feels like morning has broken, right? And I have no ability to sing that, but the harmonica can take care of that. And so don't rush, just feel it a little bit, and channel your inner Cat Stevens. And it's actually a very old song. It's from an old 19th century tune, probably be even older than that. We just happen to know it. Those of you from a certain generation, you will remember Cat Stevens, and you will remember him doing that tune. And so channel him a little bit, and that's a nice piece of music. So that deserves a thumbs up. If you were logged in, give me a thumbs up for that. Nice piece of music. Next is a brief discussion about chromatic before we actually dive in. Those of you guys that are like, hey, this is kind of fun, right? The official, a theoretical and practical treatise on the chromatic harmonica by Gianluca Litera has arrived, and it's a new translation. And it showed up minutes ago at my front door. And this is book 1 of the book 2 that I showed you last week. So my intention, guys, is to follow this as an ongoing thing. So starting next week, my intention is to read through this, find out what he's up to, not copy it, obviously, but to come up with an our way of doing it. I will make sure a tablature is included in everything that we do, and then you can make the decision about whether or not you want to do the tablature. And if there's enough of you that are like, you know what, I'd like to have it also posted without the tablature, then we'll do that. I don't see a reason for that, guys, unless you are deciding that you're going to go into the Italian Conservatory where Gianluca teaches and do that. And I don't see a reason not to use tablature. I don't feel like it is. I don't think tablature makes you dumber. I think it gives you an option to play things faster and more capably. I also think there's a confusion about sheet music in that a lot of us musicians think, oh, you got to read standard notation to do music, and you'd have to know some aspects of that to do music, but you don't. The purpose is not to read the paper, right? That's not the purpose of what we do this for. The purpose is to make music, and the faster and easier way that you can learn a song that's meaningful to you. It doesn't matter what system you use. If I wanted to play "Morning Has Broken" for a concert, I would be working as quickly and as diligently as possible to get rid of the paper. And so whatever method I use to get this paper into my harmonica is the one I want to use. And for me, I know how the tune goes, right? So I don't get any brownie points for reading the standard notation. It just takes longer to do that. I do on the classical guitar all the time. I don't get tablature in this stuff. And it takes me much longer to learn a song initially than it would if the tablature was there. And so I guess I feel like, learning music, but the purpose is not to read the paper, right? The purpose is to get rid of the paper, and so tablature is what's helpful for there. So I will be giving you basic sort of distilling this, get yourself ready for conservatory lessons into lessons that you can also take as a normal human being and learn the techniques and the songs and that sort of stuff that's in here. Yeah, the best way is to play by heart. And that's at the end of the day. Your goal is, I like playing Morning Is Broken. My goal would be to get rid of the paper and just to know how it goes. And when you're playing by heart, it's whatever system is you can use to get it as quickly into your head as possible. And I think that's going to be tablature in most cases. The other thing about this book, which I adore, is, boy, he goes into all kinds of details about how to clean it, what it does. There's all sorts of stuff in here about some real basic level stuff that we may or may not ever talk about. And I'm going to do what I can to give you some idea of what he thinks is important. and how you could use it in your harmonica playing to make it better. So that's kind of exciting that we have somebody who has written college level textbooks for intro and then next level stuff. And we'll see how much of that we already know that we already do on a daily basis, and then how much of that stuff we are going to be working on, to get us better and make it easier and all that stuff. And so just know I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm up to 3 massive tomes of information on chromatic harmonica that I'll be be digging through and dredging out what I think is important. Obviously, you can buy those books too, but you don't really need to if you're really just planning on enjoying harmonica, getting better at it, learning a little bit more about it. And what we really do here is just try to play songs and learn through that process, which is a little different than doing exercises and scales. Not that exercises and scales serve no purpose. The real purpose here is to get you where you have complete mastery over this and can play it in lots of different ways. And both of these, right? I will tell you, it will be a long time before we get around to playing this in a blues style. So there are guys out on the internet. And in fact, when you buy a harmonica now, it comes with a little free lessons from this guy, and of course, blues harmonica, right? And so that's not for me, but for some of you guys, it might be interesting. I feel like you've taught us a lot of music theory between this and you. I'm a better musician. Yay! It's exciting. Yeah, I approach all music from a theoretical perspective. The songs in and of themselves come together based on various levels of theory. Like a song like this, we don't work on D minor chord as harmonica players, but you could, and it's there for a reason. And so we haven't done any real work on chording in here because I feel like playing the tunes is plenty. But we might find that as we dig through this book, getting a little bit more information on chords would help us out. All right, let's see. Francis says, talent or no talent, your best way to play by heart. We talked about that. Love having the tab and learning a new song. Yeah, it's really about just playing a nice melody, right? Not too many of us are planning on going to conservatory in harmonica, and it's weird that exists, I think, but it does. And so, what the heck? Why not? All right, let's go into. For me, the biggest aid to learning a tune is being able to hum or sing the melody first. I think so too. I mean, if you don't know how the song goes, it is really challenging. We have the sheet music there in case you don't have that background. You're never going to play at the top level unless you can read some of the until you can handle having sheet music. I mean, lots of guitar players who are just, I'm not reading sheet music at all. And of course, they can play, sort of folk music at this incredibly high level, but they're never going to get to that really high level without dealing with some amount of sheet music. Some people have better ear training than others, but for the most part, you really do need to be able to handle sheet music. But the goal is not to be reading sheet music. The goal is to use the sheet music to create music from, and we tend to forget that. Okay, let's play the harmonica scales, please. Again, this week, not this week, next week, I may be increasing our scales by 2 and putting in the D scale one, which is going to make it a lot harder. And I think that the C scale is plenty hard enough right now. And let's see how we do on that. Play all the way through the C scale and then play all the way through the C sharp scale. Remember, if there's a star after it, you press the button down. And let's give it a try from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. I pushed the button instead. It said minus, I pushed the button. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you.
Okay, beautiful. Um, One of the things that's interesting as I'm arranging is to decide, 4 and 5 are the same note. And trying to figure out, should I stay on 5 and do a draw, or should I move down to 4 and then do the draw? And so you end up with some really fascinating things in chromatic harmonica as an arranger. You start to think about, well, should I stay on the same hole, or shall I go ahead and move up? And I think that the flow of this one actually works really well when you're going up. You're drawing on the 4 and then blowing the 4 and then drawing 5 and moving on to 6. So this 5, the draw of 5 is not duplicated, and so you have to decide, all right, I got to draw a 5, but I'm coming up, so let's use the 4s to their benefit, to their best advantage, and then just swing through beaten hole number 5 on the way down. One of those fascinating things is, as you start playing it with other songs, sometimes you'll blow the same, sometimes you blow a 4 and sometimes you blow a 5, depending on what happens around that note. And so there isn't a solid one way to do it type thing, which is always the fun part about music, is that there's lots of ways of doing it, and you're always thinking about, in this situation, what's the best way to do it. Let's play Wonderful World. Most of you guys know this tune. Like Don was mentioning, I think it's really important that you know how the song goes, and that's why I think on the website over there on the Harmonica library, we have MP3 recordings of everything. So you can really just sit, listen to the MP3 recording, watch what's going on the paper, and then go in and play it, because all of us grew up listening to Louis Armstrong do this song, and what's on the paper is maybe pretty close to what he did, but not exactly what he did. And so you want to listen to the MP3 player on the website so that you know exactly what's on the paper, how it differs in some respects from what Louis Armstrong did, and how in many cases is exactly what he did. And then I think the biggest challenge with this song is when you get to the end, there is quite a bit of, it slows down quite a lot. It is quite a bit different than what Louis Armstrong might have done. And so when we're playing an ensemble, you're trying to play with me. You don't have to, but you're trying. And then when you're on your own, maybe you do it that way, maybe you don't. But if you get different ways of approaching the same piece of music, and the only time it matters that we play together is when we're here in class. After this, you sit down, play it on your own a little bit, and see what you come up with. All right. The hard part of this song is the repeats. You're going to play through 16, come back up, play through 13, then you jump down to 17. You're going to play all the way into page 2 to measure 35. Then you're going to come back up. You're going to play to the top part of the song again the third time. You can see by the lyrics you're going to be up there 3 times. The last time you're coming through, when you get to 13, you don't jump to 17, but you jump all the way over to page to 36. You're following the codas is what you're doing in that situation. So not unimportant at measure 35. It says DSL coda. That means go to the segno, play to the coda. Whenever you play to a coda, you match it with another coda somewhere else in the song. And in this case, that's how that goes. So I did give you right out the chart up at the top of the paper, repeats. Okay. And I often do that, especially on things that are more complicated. I will put down, here's how the repeats follow. I worked with a young man on ukulele one time. He bought a Beatles for Ukulele book, and they would put every single song would fit on 2 or 3 pages, but there would be just dozens of codas in there, and it was so hard to read the repeats. And it would have been nice just to have a little chart. Go here, then here, then here. Then you can go in and hand write in on top of there. When you get to measure 35, it says DSL coda, and you're like, what? Just go to number 1 is what it should say, right? It's not what it should say; it's what it could say there. Okay, but DSL coda teaches you more. All right, from the top, below 3, as written. Good luck. I'll sing in about 3 minutes, and we'll talk about how it went. 2-beat count-in. 1. Let's see. Oh wait, Francis says, "What a wonderful world is not so wonderful with only a 2-button." Francis is our advocate for pushing the button. Right? We have somebody among us who keeps us in line. you'll notice key of C, right? Starts with a C, ends with a C, lots of C's in the middle. You push the button less when you're on the key of C because most of the notes are set up on your harmonica as it is a key of C harmonica. And so there'd be less button pushing. I know, Francis, just go buy yourself a chromatic in a different key. You'll be pushing the button like nobody's business. All right, here we go from the top. 1, 2. Not too hard to play, right? And one of the things I was just thinking about as I was playing along, like Frances did a smart thing that you encourage people to do, right? She peeked through and said, "Okay, where are the button pushes going to be?" Get a little prep for that, right? All right. Oh, there's only 2 button pushes. Okay, I don't need to be overly worried about it. But took a peek through and like, where are my button pushes going to be? And only finds a couple, right? And so she's already peeked through and kind of knows what's going to happen in the song. Smart musicianship, right? It's also a really, as Melissa's mentioning, really just peaceful, pretty tune. And when Patty goes down to do her busking down at the train station, this would be high on the list of possibilities, right? Pretty. It's a tune most people will be able to recognize, and a tune that's not going to kill you. Playing this on harmonica might be one of those pieces you put into your early repertoire. You're like, that goes pretty well for me. I'm going to add that into my busking routine so that I can hopefully earn $1. And yeah, get a B sharp harmonica, Francis. She's making a musical joke. B sharp is the same as C. So So yeah, so there you go. Nice piece of music. Remember this week, guys. We're only 4 days this week. I'm going to take a 4-day weekend coming up because Donna's taking a 4-day weekend, and so tomorrow we have Ode to Joy on top of Spaghetti, and it's only a paper moon. On top of Spaghetti is one of my favorite tunes of all time. So don't come in with attitude about it. Just come in and be like, this is my favorite song, Gary. And then after that, Wednesday we're looking at Puff the Magic Dragon, which I remember being harder than I wish it was. And then Last Rose of Summer, which is another just beautiful piece of music. And then on Thursday we play through everything, so you have an opportunity to play Wonderful World again. And then this weekend, as I've got a 4-day weekend, I'll dive into all these books I've been buying on chromatic harmonica. If you don't own a chromatic harmonica yet, you really should try to shake loose $40 and get one of those 1040s, so that you have an opportunity to join in that. I think that'll just help us take music up to a next level, kind of higher level. There is a good deal of discussion I noticed through flipping through here about tongue blocking, which is when you take multiple holes and then stick your tongue over the ones you don't want sound to come out. And it's a little weird and a little gross to do. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that. In order to play blues harmonica, you have to do tongue blocking. And so it's one of the things I just believe in the pucker system because you get a nice melody out of it. But to play at the higher level, you do have to do tongue blocking. And so we'll talk about it a little bit. I don't know. I haven't figured out a good way to teach it yet, but we'll figure that out. So, guys, have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. We'll see all of you for lessons 98, 99, and 100 this week. So we'll have a little party on Thursday. We'll all show up with a glass of wine for Thursdays, and you can't drink it until after class. What a wonderful. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Let's see. Oops, I mean D flat or C sharp. All right, come on, Francis, stop being funny. Evelyn, that was nice. Nice tunes today, right? Patty, nice song. The repeats listed on it don't match the measures. I think I fixed that, Patty. 0 through 16, 1 through 13, 17. I think originally it was off, Patty, and I posted a new one. So re-download it, Patty. Double check before you print it. But I think you've got the previous version where you're right. The numbers didn't match up. I think I fixed them. So double check, Patty. But I think the current version online you want to have. Yeah, thanks, Pauline. It is fun, right? It's just pleasant. Diane, good to see you. It matches the October 18th version. Mine says October 28th, 2020. And so double check that you have the most recent version. Fran, good to see you, Fran. Yeah, it's fun as usual, right? Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Sandy. Francis, you're welcome. Centennial, party in Centennial. Don, good to see you, bud. Marcia, thanks. Last war is... I was like, what are you talking about, Marshall? Last warm day for a bit. Oh yeah, I know, right? We're supposed to get some cold weather here in Colorado, so that's fine. All right, thanks. Sounds the same. Yeah, sounds the same. But I did fix the repeats, and so the current version on the website should be the one you want, Patty. Sounds the same. Yeah, as long as you can read through the repeats, it doesn't matter. So maybe you want to print out, maybe you don't. All right, guys, have a lovely day. I will see all of you tomorrow.